Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and we have just seen a weekly candle close for Ethereum, and this is really important for all Ethereum holders to pay attention to. And on top of that, the Bitcoin dominance is currently testing this very important line of support, which could result in the continuation of this altcoin season. All of that and more in this video. And just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. But with all of that out of the way, let's get straight to what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Ethereum to US dollar chart on the weekly time frame. And as I mentioned in the intro of this video, we have just seen a weekly candle close because obviously we've just begun a new week. And what we have here is the 20-week simple moving average. And if you're looking at the last weekly candle close, we basically closed right on that moving average at just above 3.8k. Currently, at the time of filming this video, Ethereum is below that moving average, but we really need to see a strong weekly candle close well below that moving average in order to really confirm a break below. And the next weekly candle close isn't until over 6 days from now. But currently, the 20-week SMA has increased up towards 3,880. So basically, we need to see the next weekly candle close around 3.9k, and anything above that to be still looking good here. But if this week turns out to be another red week for Ethereum, then in that case, it would be safe to say that we are breaking below the 20-week SMA. And in a scenario like that, yes, in the immediate short term, that would be a bit of a bearish signal. But the last time Ethereum did that was back in the middle of 2021. And if you're looking at what happened back then, we basically saw an immediate dip to the downside, followed by a bounce, a rejection from this exact moving average, one more dip to the downside, and then a short squeeze. So overall, in that entire time period just there, that still made for a great buying opportunity if you're just dollar cost averaging into Ethereum and holding for the next few months or so. So that is still my current Ethereum strategy, just to be dollar cost averaging into Ethereum and holding for the next few months, because believe it or not, this short-term downtrend will end at some stage, just like all short-term downtrends, and just like how every pump to the upside eventually has a correction. So at some stage, we will see bullish price action again, and considering we've been in this short-term downtrend for nearly 2 months now, it's likely we'll see some more bullish price action within the next 1 to 2 months, simply based on previous corrections. For example, during the entire pullback that we saw in the middle of 2021, from the all-time high down to the point where we bottomed out, that was just over 2 months. And if you're looking at the current price action for Ethereum from the all-time high to where we are right now, it's nearly been 2 months, which, believe it or not, is a pretty standard correction for Ethereum. But if we see another red weekly candle just here and really confirm this break below the 20-week SMA, then in that case, one of the first major support levels that I'll be looking at is this level right here, coming in at approximately 3.6k. And this is an important level for Ethereum to hold because this was strong resistance previously, and right now it has been acting as a lot of support for Ethereum. And now checking out the 12-hour time frame for Ethereum, and there's still some hope here for the bulls, looking at this falling wedge pattern. Now, before we can look at the price target for this pattern, we would first need to see a strong break above this point of resistance, which is sitting at around 3.9k. But one of the best ways to know that Ethereum is potentially flipping bullish again is if we break above a previous high. For example, this high just here coming in at just above 4.1k, which right now we have not seen. Technically, we are still making lower highs on this 12-hour chart, meaning that on this time frame, yes, Ethereum is still in this shorter term downtrend, but on the much larger time frames, technically we are still in an uptrend, looking at higher lows and higher highs. So anytime where the longer term trend is bullish, but the short term trend is bearish, that just gives us a great opportunity, like what we saw in September and like what we saw in the middle of 2021. Both of those time periods were short term bearish time periods in a longer term bullish trend. Now, it's important to mention that that is not financial advice. That's just telling you my personal Ethereum strategy and telling you what is on the charts right now. And now this is really important for all altcoin holders out there. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily time frame. And right now, at the time of filming this video, the Bitcoin dominance is running into contact with this major line of support coming in at just below 40%. And by the way, for the complete beginners out there, when the Bitcoin dominance is heading to the upside, that means Bitcoin is gaining market share away from the altcoins. So Bitcoin is doing better than the altcoins. But when the Bitcoin dominance is going to the downside, that just means the altcoins are doing better than Bitcoin. So technically speaking, this is also known as an altcoin season, when the altcoins are generally outperforming Bitcoin. And I've been letting you know recently on the channel that we are running into this major point of support where the Bitcoin dominance has previously bounced at multiple times here. And so I've basically been saying that this is really a deciding moment here, because obviously if we see another bounce back to the upside, that would mean the altcoins on average would be underperforming against Bitcoin and basically put an end to the altcoin season that we have been in over the past couple months. But if the Bitcoin dominance can confirm a break below this support level and start forming a brand new lower low, which by the way, the lowest level that we got here was coming in at around 39.5% approximately, and right now the Bitcoin dominance has made it down towards that exact same level. So really, if we start heading any lower than 39%, that is how you know that this altcoin season is potentially continuing, meaning that it's very likely that the altcoins on average are going to be doing better than Bitcoin. I say on average because obviously there's going to be some outliers. Not every single altcoin are going to be gaining all at once. But a really good example of the Bitcoin dominance having a direct effect on the altcoins is if we look at Ethereum varied against Bitcoin. Obviously, we were talking about that head and shoulders pattern, which technically speaking is meant to be a bearish pattern. And yes, at first we did break to the downside here. And for the past couple days, we have been retesting this neckline, but it was only when the Bitcoin dominance had another drop off in the short term here that pushed Ethereum varied against Bitcoin to the upside. And so because this has happened, that has now invalidated this head and shoulders pattern for Ethereum varied against Bitcoin here on the 6-hour time frame. And what's very interesting is we actually saw this not too long ago, just back in November. As you can see here, Ethereum formed a head and shoulders pattern against Bitcoin. It was slanted to the upside. We initially broke to the downside, and then we actually formed a W pattern here and broke back above the neckline, invalidating this pattern. And then because a W pattern is technically a bullish pattern, as we broke above the neckline, we continued further to the upside, similar to what we're seeing at the moment. And so looking at what happened last time, we actually turned that into an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which is a bullish pattern, just the opposite of a head and shoulders pattern. As you can see here, we saw the left shoulder right there, the head and the right shoulder, and then Ethereum broke to the upside, flipped this previous point of resistance into new support, and continued on with more bullish price action. And right now, it is still a little bit early for this because it has not fully formed, but you can see that we are potentially forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern here. We've already seen the left shoulder, we've already seen the head, and right now, if we get a rejection here in the immediate short term and perhaps retest this previous neckline, then we could end up forming a right shoulder to complete an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which once again is a bullish pattern if we confirm a break above this neckline. And by the way, the neckline that we need to break above for the inverse head and shoulders pattern after we form a right shoulder is coming in at around 0.081 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And in terms of levels of support to the downside, looking at this previous head and shoulders neckline, that is coming in close to 0.08 Bitcoin per Ethereum. And if you want to get extra Ethereum content throughout the day, make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. If you enjoyed this video or got something valuable out of it, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of these future updates that I post every single day. And as always, I appreciate all of your support in the channel at the moment. I can't thank you guys enough. And for any of the new viewers on the channel, you might as well check out one of these uploads if you haven't already. But that is really everything that I have to say for this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.